math to know.
And so that's why I'm really glad I'm not at Oshkosh.
Len will put his comment up. It's like, oh, we better go live. Yeah.
Michael Gillette says he's feeling zesty.
Meg, yeah. Hey, JV, who's just down the road from us. Spend more time at his tent than at my plane.
So spending a lot of time at Comanche Town.
Yeah. It's a good place.
Yeah. So for those who are watching the live recording, Ted is under the wing of the egg in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Yeah. No pesky wheel pants to have to worry about sitting on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or getting grass stains on them.
Yeah. Or bird guts or whatever.
Yeah. And big surprise for everybody. We got Nathan Ballard here that you can't even tell, really. He's just up there having a perfect looking. It looks like it's his podcast.
It
just
does
hanging out.
Like we look like guests on your show, buddy.
I'm just here for the merch.
Note to self: send Nate more merch.
Hey Ted, can I see your OB shirt again? Oh yeah. Pretty cool. Have you seen those guys? Are they there yet? They're not there yet.
No, they'll big time it. They'll just show up on late Friday and do the show Saturday and leave. So it's what happens when you have a job, I guess. But important
a lot
jobs.
Of things.
So I'll have a couple of of course the flying thing, but I can also do it just kind of like set the scene here, and whenever we want to do that, and go into it.
Cool.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and get into it?
That was me basically trying not to burn a story. So
yeah. Good job. Hey, Mark, you're doing great.
30 seconds, he'll know what you said. Yeah. When he says your name, wave.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I told him to wave when he saw his name. So, oh, there it is. That's how much the delay is. That's awesome. All right. I'll do this.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Midlife Pilot Podcast. What is it like to become a pilot in midlife? The challenges are unique, but so are the rewards. Hosts Ben, Brian, and Ted talk learning to fly, growing as pilots, and the joy of flying to destinations. The purpose of the podcast is not to teach, but to share knowledge and experiences. You definitely should not take any advice too seriously from an aviation podcast that uses terms like icing on the vegetables. Okay, checklists are complete. Let's get the show started.
Hello and welcome to the Midlife Pilot Podcast, where we share the experiences and challenges of flying in midlife. Whether you're a seasoned pilot, training for a rating, or just thinking about getting started in aviation, we like to think of the podcast as your aviation companion and your weekly dose of aviation. And also, you could be at Oshkosh like our friend Ted. Tonight, we're going to be talking about feeding our souls and starving our wallets. Our topic comes from listener Zach R. And joining us tonight, well, first, my name is Ben, and I am an IFR-rated pilot with a commercial certificate. I'm based in the metro Atlanta area, and I fly an airplane. It's a Cessna 182, sometimes referred to as the Beast. Joining me tonight from, I want to say tree-torn, like storm-worn Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Bachelorette Super Charlie, flying a Cherokee 180 named Lucy. It's our friend Brian. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. This is our special Oshkosh episode, even though we are mostly not there, but one of us is, and I'm super excited about that. But and obviously super excited to have our friend Nathan Ballard with us. So this is going to be a good one.
That's right. Also joining us, who is based in Portlandia, but is currently in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, with something going on up there. I'm not quite sure what that is. He's a sport pilot extraordinaire. He flies a flight design CTLS. We like to call it the egg. It is our friend Ted. Good evening, sir.
Hey there. I'm glad to be here. Glad to make this work with some good background noise. And it's a good day at Osh. We don't have crazy loud jets flying overhead this very minute. So life's good.
Awesome. Also joining us tonight, our CFI ATP pilot extraordinaire. It's our friend. He was my commercial instructor, so I can vouch of his excellent pedigree. It's our friend Nathan Ballard. Good evening, sir.
Hello. And last time I was here, we were talking, and we all had flannels, and I thought we were going to talk about Seattle flannel grunge, but now it's like cargo pants and white New Balance shoes season. So hopefully everybody's got those on. I do. So.
And what are
yeah.
the hats that with the brim?
Oh yeah, the bucket hats.
Bucket hats.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. What is that, Brian? We say when we've given up all hope on having any decent look. There we go, Ted.
There it is.
Well, we're glad you're with us tonight. It's kind of a crazy time right now. I did not get any flying in since our last recorded episode, but I have continued my struggles of adding a new rating, be it tailwheel or multi. I got a call today saying that the twin that I was going to do my training in won't be ready for another 6 to 8 weeks. And they kind of make it sound like we'll get to it when we get to it. This flight school has their own AMP, and they're spending all their time keeping their primary trainers up and running. And they kind of get to the twin whenever they can. So I have officially gone on the hunt for a new multi-school. So I've got a bunch of feelers out. I've spoken to a couple of potential schools, so we'll see how that plays out.
The irony of needing a redundant school for multi does not escape me.
Very well played, sir. Yeah, I mean, I just I go to one tailwheel. Their plane never fixed. Try to get Nathan and his partner ground loops his. I mean, so I give up on that and start chasing the multis. Man, it's I think kind of like you, Brian. If there was no such thing as bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
Yeah. It's been a mad streak for me. I know I talk about my precious Toyota MR2 all the time on the show, which has nothing to do with aviation, but it is officially toast. I grenaded the engine this past weekend, and it's going to be a long time before it is ever driving again. And it is a sad state of affairs. It feels like a part of me is gone. So I'm just here trying to push through. And then in all actual seriousness, I just want to give a quick shout out to my father-in-law passed away last week, and so it's been a lot. He was an instrument rated pilot, and he was in the Navy, did a lot of great things. He was a great father-in-law and did a lot of great things. So I just want to give a shout out to Bill Parker, my recently departed father-in-law, but we did all the celebration of life things and all of that, and it's good. And I've been going through his archives since I'm the only sort of I guess pilot around. Going through his things, it's similar to maybe how it was going through my own dad's logbook, where there's just these, you can kind of glean these insights that other people, it's just gobbledygook and just a bunch of weird information or whatever to them. But to me, it tells a story. And so it's been really interesting to go through that. Also really cool just to see how lucky we are to have ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot these days, because his flight bag was this giant, the giant binders of the JEP charts and, all of that. And it was, I guess, Nathan, when you first started flying, you had to carry about 112 pounds of things to the airport. So anyway, I just want to make a special mention of that without lingering on it. But it's been a wild time, an interesting time. But we're all here. And then, at least I get to go to Oshkosh. Oh wait, no. So anyway, no, but I'm glad to be here, and I just wanted to make a special mention of that.
Let Kelly know that we're definitely thinking of her and your entire family. So, Ted, I'm assuming you didn't commercial since you're sitting under the wing of your airplane. So as far as recent flying goes, well, let me go to Nate first, and Ted, we'll come to you later. But Nate, It's been a little while since you've been on the show. Can you tell us what you've been up to?
I have been doing a little bit of flying, multi-engine flying, Ben. Sorry, but
Yes, no, rub it
yeah.
in.
Yeah, since
Not just multi-engine, not multi-engine piston flying either.
I made this midlife transition from being an IT nerd for 25 years to actually getting paid to fly, which is crazy. So I've been doing that since February. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm still doing CFI, a lot of CFI training. So Ben, if that might be something that scratches the itch, let's go do your spin endorsement sometime soon. But that's been
If you want the plane to go down, then sure, sign me up. If you want the plane to, have mechanical issues, then yeah, I'll be happy to go through. I do want to do that in actuality. I know we were joking around that last week, but looks like until I find a flight school for multi, I've got some more time on my hands.
All right.
By the way, I just want to side note say that when my MR2 died on the mountain, and then I was sort of forced to limp it to the destination that we had to go to. So I'm sure I'd ensure the demise of the car forever. All that to be said, it did not escape me in that moment to think about, wow, this is the benefit of car problems. and all of my it actually was kind of a nice relief to get away from ADM for a minute and just be like, I'm just gonna send it. This thing's shot anyway. It's a 40-year-old engine. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this better? I'm just gonna get there and we'll figure it out. Just if anything near the equivalent happened in any kind of an airplane, it would be stop right there scenario. So anyway, that was a trip, but there's enough broken things for everybody to go around. So thanks for that, Ben.
Yeah, sure. Spreading the love. So Mr. Tedder, time stamper, tell us about your trip to Oshkosh.
I am so glad that you guys have the broken things and not me. Yeah, it was about 15 hours of flying. That was 11 on one day and 4 on the next. Decent tailwind, got up high, wasn't burning much fuel, so had a great time. Some turbulence, some more of what I've been, this year's learning has been how to deal with thunderstorms, and so I put a lot more of that to use on this trip.
Cool.
I think we need to clarify for our audience that when you had a better fuel burn, instead of 5 gallons an hour, it's 3 gallons an hour, right?
3.2 was my burn. Yes. So yeah, flew into the show from Fond du Lac with Lord Alpha Juliet sitting right seat. We had a great time. Had some hilarious things happen. Should have a video out within a day, maybe less. Anyway, ran into heard Mark in flight, which is hilarious. Lots of fun moments. Landed at the we're put in show center and then sent a picture of us being in the show center. So things like that. Thankfully, I wasn't one of the many planes that got stuck in the mud. There was a Vision Jet in one place for 3 days. But I was at 95% power going through a section. So
Wow.
I probably just should have, hopped in the air for about 2 feet up and gotten through that. But whatever, it all works. So yeah, it's great. There's a lot of midlifers here, and a lot of our friends are here. So JV and his dad are here. Ran into Erica. She ran into us, and she's got her son here. So nice to meet her in person and get a hug. And Virgil is here. AJ, as we've mentioned, Jeff is here. So there's a nice crowd. All sorts of people that, in fact, that are in the chat talking. So
that's awesome. And has Mark been well behaved?
Mark has been behaved. Yes. So he flew in on Sunday, and I went out and met up with him. And he was at Fond du Lac. I was at Waukesha. Whatever. I went down to Fond du Lac, and I flew in again with him on Sunday. So this has been the real learning of the midlife community is having somebody sitting in the right seat to do the arrival is by far highly recommended. That takes care of the biggest set of issues, all the concerns you might have about flying into Oshkosh. If you've got enough hours, you're comfortable with dealing with some traffic, having that person in the seat with you takes care of a lot of the problems that kind of.
How long was the conga line on Sunday?
You know, there have been enough storms that it never got excessive. We did go out to Fisk, and for a while they were having to send people back, but it was never kind of those epic things that you hear of. So,
good.
Yeah, it was fun though. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, hey Brian, why don't we go ahead before we get into our topic? Let's do some belly scrubbing if you don't mind.
Yeah. By the way, I realized I put my name in here as Bravo Sierra 1, and I don't know why I did that. I took your spot there, Ben.
Well, I'm playing Jinxer tonight, so you could be BS1.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right, housekeeping. Let's knock this out. Hey, we're grateful for you all making this the best pilot community that we know of, a positive space where we share everything from training experiences, shared personal minimums, tackle ownership challenges, review flight plans, and best of all, make new aviation friends. And if you're Ted, you get hugs. So that's pretty sweet. You can connect with us, join our Patreon community from $1 a month, or do a one-time annual Patreon, 25 cents per episode. Access exclusive content, including check ride debriefs, killing zone conversations, and more. The Discord, 10%, supports Freedom Aviation Network's anti-human trafficking efforts. Saw that they are at Oshkosh. Please go see them if you're there. And hey, we have a great feedback tonight that was sent to us, an audio feedback. You can share yours with us, midlifepilotpodcast@gmail.com. We read or listen to all the messages, and you might even hear yours on the show. For everything Midlife Pilot Podcast, community feedback, merch, and more, visit midlifepilotpodcast.com. We've got some amazing new shirts. We've been seeing some modeling photos in the Discord of people getting the 2 bounces and a skip shirt, and that's been a trip. Those things actually look really nice. I like how those came out. But
me too, yeah.
Thanks for sending those in. And just a reminder to leave 5-star reviews. We need those, like those, want those, and you have the ability to do it. We tried a Bangladeshi click farm, but it's just not really cost feasible. So it doesn't feel very authentic. So please leave us a genuine, authentic, non-click farm review.
That's such a descriptive way to ask for a review. I do appreciate that. I'll go ahead and hit up, since Ted is working remotely, I'm going to let everybody know who our new Patreon supporters are. In the Landomatic level, we have Josh W. We have a Hershey Bar level, we have Jack W. And then we do have a new Beast level supporter, Adam C. So we want to thank all of you for jumping in and supporting us, man. That really does mean a lot to us.
Absolutely.
So tonight we're going to play some audio from that Brian mentioned to a minute ago about some feedback from a listener. And this comes up a lot. Before you hit that one, I want to hit one other feedback that we got. This comes from Corey K. out of airport is Sierra Tango Juliet. He says, "Hey guys, I'm Snow Goose on the Discord and Hershey Bar member. I just wanted to say hi and let you know that I really enjoy the podcast. I've been listening since starting my training back in May of 2024, and at age 46, just passed my check ride yesterday. Feels great. He's about a year ahead of me, but congratulations. That's freaking awesome." He says, "Keep up the good work. If you'd like to know anything about my check ride, training process, etc., let me know. I trained with 4 different CFIs at 4 different airports and was 80 plus hours at the time of my check ride." And I'll tell you this, Corey, as we can plainly see, the guy that helps us with doing the pilot debriefs is standing or sitting right behind Ted at the moment. But maybe we can reach out and get a pilot debrief, because
check ride debrief.
A check ride. Sorry, check ride debrief. Thank you. What did I say?
Nothing.
Okay. Which was just pretty par for the course. I'm always saying nothing. There's a show title on there somewhere. But no. So Brian, are we ready? Can we hit this from our friend Zach R?
Yeah, and thanks for everybody sending in the feedback. We got some really cool stuff. There's one that just came into the Discord that I was thrilled by, but also I don't know how to feel about it. When they say one of the newest members said that they've listened their way back to episode 70 something, and I just thought, oh my, there's a part of me that just feels like, oh my God, what have we done? So
Please stop.
right.
Stop right there. Don't go back any further.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. This is not the right way to say it, but it's kind of like when your mom wants to come see you play a rock show when you're a teenager or something. You know, you're just like, I appreciate that you're supportive, but I don't feel worthy, and this seems weird. But anyway, so yes, we have an awesome audio feedback from Zach R. We're gonna play this, and then we'll go through it. You guys ready for this?
Let's hit it.
All right, I'm gonna find it, and then I'm gonna press the button. All right, here we go.
Hey, midlifers. This is Zach coming to you from within the DC CFRA and underneath the Old Bay Bravo. I was hoping you guys might have some thoughts on a topic I recently brought up in the Discord. I'm at the point in life where I'm not wealthy enough to go flying every time I get the whim, but it's also the only thing that feeds my soul these days. So the topic is sort of two parts. Number one, finding a reason to fly that's justifiable. And number two, building a social community for yourself and other pilots. Discord had some really good suggestions. I especially like the idea about charity flying, but grabbing a burger from every airport restaurant within range or trying to land on every runway heading is going to be cost prohibitive for me in the long run. As some background, before I got my pilot's license, I was medical crew on fixed wing and rotorcraft for about a dozen years, so the local views aren't quite a good enough reason anymore. I recently transitioned from my flight school Skyhawk to buying an equity membership in a Piper Dakota. I'm loving the increased performance, but I'm not yet comfortable enough to be inviting every non-pilot friend or family member to come and witness my landings. I've checked local pilot groups on social media, and I get a great response from a bunch of new CFIs offering me their friendship for the low price of $60 to $70 an hour. So I guess my question is, what motivates you to fly? How do you keep it from getting stale and too expensive? And I guess part two is, how do you expand your social circle and build friendship around your piloting without buying into every club in town or joining Civil Air Patrol? Anyway, keep up the great work. I've got my fingers crossed for a fly-in meetup here in the Mid-Atlantic or Northeast soon. Take care.
Awesome. So much to talk about in there. I immediately wanted to make this a topic, and I'm so glad that Nathan, you're here for this, because you can lend some credible angles to our otherwise amateur hour responses. But yeah, so one of the things I think is most unique about this, we've talked about some of these scenarios in other ways, but I love that the predicament here is, I was doing rotorcraft and fixed wing medical crew for a dozen years. So being in the air and seeing the views is just not particularly novel in the same way that it might be for those of us that don't have that. And I just think that's got to be a really neat sort of prologue to your flying journey. What an interesting perspective. But I have a lot of thoughts. I know you guys have a lot of thoughts. We're going to call this sort of the soul versus wallet reality. And I think that for Zach, there's a few key things that I'm hearing about his challenge that I know we all want to get into. But first, I just wanted to get Nathan, what is your first take in terms of how common have you seen this among students or friends or colleagues or pilots?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a midlife problem, right? I mean, we save up or whatever, we get these ratings and certificates, and then like, now what? Now what are we going to do with it? And then I think the common answer, and I don't think it's a bad answer, is, oh, we're talking before the show, go get your tail wheel endorsement or go get a float plane rating, that kind of stuff. But those are big dollar things. I think what I'm hearing Zach ask is like, not just economically, how can I do it, but like, what's a real world way that I can do it? And something that came to mind for me is super simple, and it's something I did as I was leading up to the job that I'm in now, is just spending time at the airport. And I was teaching full time, and in between lessons, I'd go and I'd open up the hangar door, and I'd have a table, and I'm doing whatever, or watching the back catalog of Midlife Pilot podcast, episode 50
Right.
and stuff. And people would come up to me and be like, hey, and it didn't matter that I was a CFI, I don't think. They're like, hey, do you want to go fly in my Mooney, or whatever it was? And I got so many opportunities there to experience flying with somebody else that I didn't know, right? In an airplane that was new to me. And I would highly recommend, Zach and others that are looking for something, like, hang out at the airport. You will get so many opportunities. I don't mean just be an airport bum. I mean, maybe a little bit, but just if you go out there, people with airplanes, just like people that run marathons, just like people that do woodworking, they want to talk about it, right? So that'd be my quick tip on that, is just hang out there, and you're going to get a lot of opportunities to do something different.
I agree with that 100%. I don't hang out at the airport as often as I'd like, but I was going to say my suggestion, and we kind of experienced this a couple of weeks ago, but for Zach, what I would say is, draw a circle, a radius around your home airport, say 50 to 100 miles. Got a feeling you're going to find a lot of airports in there. And just go visit the airports, because it's always amazing what I learned when I landed at an airport the first time. There's something interesting going on either there or at the small town that it's in. Even if you're just running in to grab a coffee or a sandwich or something, it just, even by yourself, or just staying at the FBO and hanging out at that different airport. It's amazing the connections that you can make, and you can use that as also as, hey, I'm, new pattern or new airport proficiency, entering the pattern, practice a power off 180. You can kind of combine the two purposes in doing that.
Well, and let's just talk about, you're kind of getting into this already, which is sort of creative flying missions. And I think that there's a lot to do within that line of thinking. For me, I love air therapy. I don't need anything exciting going on. I just like to be away from the fray of humanity that is terrestrial, and all of the things that are on the ground that I just want to not be a part of anymore for a minute. I don't care what's happening, where I'm going, what altitude, what the scenery looks like. Just the idea of being I'm just in love with the idea of being in motion and transcending the bounds of what's happening on the ground. And maybe there's some, I don't know, sometimes that just requires a bit of an intentionality to say, almost to give yourself permission to go, I don't actually, there doesn't have to be a point. So that would be my thing, is to just, flying. Some of the best and most fun flying I've ever done is when I go up with no idea where I'm going, and I just get out, and maybe don't even, we're huge advocates of flight following and all that. But if you're in your practice area, or you're in a place where you feel pretty safe, and you feel like it's not too crowded and all that, just quiet the radios, not turn it off, but just, you can just be on your local whatever. And just, it's almost like the exercise of when you have a blank piece of paper and you just take a pencil and you're like, instead of saying, I don't know what to draw, if you just put it down and just do what your hand feels like doing, just letting yourself kind of flow with whatever. I do that with the airplane. It's not like I'm thinking about holding altitudes or doing different things. And when you really rid yourself of all of the requirements and the rigidity of measuring yourself at all times or having a point or a destination, I think you learn a lot about the finesse of how your plane flies, and you can just kind of just do weird stuff, man. So I don't know. I would say just go up there and be weird with it and meditate and have some fun. But there's also abandoned airports, or don't go land at them, but you can go and check them out from the air. We've got a whole list of things that we put together. When it's wintertime, I like to go up and just take pictures. Photography is a great thing to do, hunting for that fall progression of colors. And, Ted, you can probably speak to this better than anybody, but it seems like you are a big fan of air shows, and aviation pilgrimages. So tell us about how the introvert who lives far away from a lot of these things finds his way to these things. What would you say to Zach about event flying and aviation pilgrimages as a way to kind of satisfy the soul and not break the bank?
It is a lot for an introvert to do it, for sure. There is enough going on for me to find things that are interesting, and certainly having friends and that network is what makes it really valuable to go to. I don't think it's a good idea, though, for him, because I think that this isn't how can I burn a lot of hours. It's how can I burn fewer hours and get satisfaction out of that.
Yes.
So instead of, hey, there's an airport in Oshkosh I could fly to, it's what Pete at 9 was saying. He's like, don't ignore the private trips either. Many are clubs, and if you contact them, they're happy to let you fly in and visit and check the place out. You can get a lot of grass strips that way. Those are the ones that are within 10 miles of you, or within 50 at least. And that, to me, I think is what it's all about for the ratio of fun to hours flown, and really flipping it from my cautionary tale of doing the opposite of that.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I think a lot of this is, don't do what you did in training where you land and then you take off and that's all you ever see at the airport. Go land at an airport. One of the things that I've done in a lot of different states, land at an airport and go walk to the river, or walk to the town, or walk to the whatever. And that is so much fun. That, use it as a chance to explore the FBO in this tiny little airport.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways to extend. It's not just the flying; it's the whole experience.
Well, and so Barry's got his comment here where he said, and this is really, Zach had actually mentioned specifically that this is what he does not want to do, because he feels like it's just a sort of an ongoing thing that's not really going to feed his need. All of that to be said, maybe reconsider, because I mean, it's really, Barry says the land on every runway direction challenge is a great way to pick new destinations. So you can get all of your magnetic directions. But, you know, I think that what I got from Zach is that the kind of collection mentality, or the stamps, or that feels like an aggregate burden maybe to him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but I don't know if that's really the flavor of what he's looking for. But what I will say is that when you do feel like you're building skills in interesting or different ways, it feels more valuable and less premium on the destination and all of the things, right? To just get up and do some local area kicking around. So, Nathan, how do you recommend that Zach disguise proficiency training as soul fulfilling adventure flights that are not going to break the bank?
I do want to, I'll answer that as part of the discussion, but I think one thing, Brian, that you said, and Ted, you too, Ben, I got nothing from you yet. I'm waiting. Brian, what you said
It's
about getting up there and doing something weird with the plane. I'm put my CFI hat on real quick. And people don't know how to feel the airplane fly. So, Brian, what you're saying, go up there. Who cares about standards? Like, it doesn't have to be a long, expensive flight. Go up there and, with instructor or without, whatever's, you're comfortable with. Go up there and see what the plane will do and how to feel it, and look outside while you're doing it. And that's one of my Zen things. At least if you fly with me, you'll see that in action, and you'll get that hopefully from being up there with me. But and then Ted, what you said about getting out of the airplane, like Ted, you went to Boeing Field, I think, right, and did like this mega taxi, amazing experience. And Ben's 1000th landing was at Hartsfield. Like those are great experiences. Well, I was going to say on what you were talking about, Ted, was, and I've been doing this in my professional flying. I mean, I was at Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia a couple weeks ago, and the tower's right there. I'm like, I'm going to be here for 5 hours. I'm going to go to the tower, So I went up the tower. I'm a big nerd. I went up there and talked to him for an hour, and they were fantastic. So, building in those little things, I think, along the way, make the whole experience, not just make it all worthwhile, and not just, oh, I'm just going to go flying. Like, it's so much more than that. And I think that's the theme of this whole discussion here.
I wanted to hit a couple of comments if I could, Brian, real quick. Our friend Chris C, Flying Past 50, he said, I found that getting on the board of my flying club helped give me a way to get involved at the airport and re-energize my desire to fly. And there's a couple of comments that are kind of surrounding involved in EAA or Civil Air Patrol, or, I sympathize with where Zach's coming from, because I think it was about 2 years ago, it was becoming the same thing over and over again. And to his point, doing the stamp collecting or things like that, it does kind of get to be more of a task than an adventure. But I think I had to just change my mindset, saying so few people get to do this. So yeah, I'm going to complete my mission and landing at every airport in the state of Georgia, every public use, and then do what Ted says: get out of the airplane and go talk to people or see what's around.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's kind of, you have to force yourself into getting out of your comfort zone or making it a little bit more uncomfortable. Go fly dogs, do pilots and paws. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Well, so one of the things I thought was unique about Zach's situation also is that he mentioned that he's flying his club plane that is a Dakota that he's recently been flying, and he stated that he's not really in a place where he feels comfortable yet putting non-pilot friends in with him or family and that kind of thing, which is great to be aware of that and to take your time with that. I don't think enough people do that. So I always celebrate when people pace themselves when they're getting into a new aircraft. But I couldn't help but think the Piper Dakota is a lot of airplane for us, and not for people like Nathan Ballard. Like it's for him, it's like it might as well be like a Luscombe. The Dakota's like a Luscombe to him now. But no, but hey, and no shame on Luscombes, but hey, I just want to say that I really thought when I heard Dakota, I just thought that's a cross country machine. And so if you want to save money, fly maybe more often, it really hit me when he said, that this is this flying really satisfies my soul. And so how can I enjoy that more than less, but still not break the bank? And I find myself exactly in that position all the time of just, how do I do this in ways that keep me sane? Because we all start to lose our minds if we haven't flown for a while. In most cases, some of us need breaks, but I'm just saying, I start to get just kind of crazy. I don't care if I'm just going to go taxi and come back. Like, I just need something. So when I heard Dakota, I thought that's a lot of plane. I wonder what your club has, Zach. And I wonder if you have access to something like a 150 or a 140 or a tailwheel plane or a Cub, or I don't know, something that's just kind of goofy and slow and primitive. Because that is a whole world of fun that is not expensive. If you can get into a Cub or something like that, you can fly low, you can fly slow, you can have fun, you can just go check out sunsets and just feel the plane, and you're not distracted with all these technical devices. So I don't know. There's probably something to be said for just looking at not being fully committed to flying the Dakota, because I feel like that plane is a bit of a contrast to what I'm hearing your challenge is.
Well, I think also he can use his time now, his purpose to fly, as to getting very proficient in that Dakota. Go start doing weird things in the Dakota.
Oh yeah.
Make yourself comfortable.
Not inverted.
Yeah, not inverted. I got a similar engine, I believe, as the 182. I think it's maybe 280 horsepower. But I guess my point is, you don't have to fly full throttle. I would suggest it on takeoff, but after that, you can pull the throttle back and the prop back if it's constant speed, and save money by and then go play with slow flight. That's going to make you better on landings anyway. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I know we're talking to Zach when we say this, but as I said before, there's a lot of people that are in this situation. And sometimes I just think it takes an effort to give yourself purpose to go fly.
Yeah, and Zach said in our chat here, single aircraft club, started training in an RV-12 before switching to private versus sport, but I like the idea, would like to find a local egg. So Ted, are there any farm fresh eggs out where Zach is? And by the way, whenever we come to you on this podcast right now, I kind of feel like you're sort of the Weather Channel guy that's out trying to like do the hurricane broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have had a rain jacket.
I keep hoping that it's not the moment that somebody loud is flying overhead. So far I've kind of lucked out. But not the egg specifically. There are certainly RV-12s. A lot of EAA chapters build an RV-12, and then because of the way EAA does that, it becomes its own flying club, separate from all that. And if you were a big part of building it, you get first pick of being in the flying club. But those slots open up, and RV-12 is a great plane to fly slow and much more affordably, especially a club one like that where you're flying it dry. Amazingly well priced for that. But I've got to say, the thing that came to mind for me immediately with all this is you're getting bored of flying, and it's also, there's an affordability issue. Why aren't you doing instrument and safety piloting with someone else who's going through instrument? Now you're splitting your costs, and you've got a mission.
Well, we don't know if he's not already instrument rated, but you bring up an excellent point. No, I absolutely agree with that.
That sounds so boring. No, well, hey, by the way, Nathan, I know when you heard this audio clip from our friend Zach here, I know that when you heard that clip, you could not help but fully identify with the part where he talks about how many aviation communities online have introduced him to CFIs that are perfectly willing to be his best friend for the low rate of $60 to $70 an hour. First, I just want to know, do you have any aviation friends, Nate, for $60 to $70 an hour? And secondly, do you have any thoughts about, we've touched on the community aspects a lot, but from the $60 an hour friendship angle, I'm just wondering, is there anything else that you can think of that would facilitate genuine connections with other pilots? And is there anything that you can think of from a instructor or more professional driven point of view that would guide Zach a little bit? I want to get to sort of a point where we're giving Zach as much of an action plan as possible. This is one of the rare moments where we have an expert on the show, so I feel like we can actually get to an action plan.
I mean, on that topic, there's a couple things I'll hit real quick. With like Facebook state groups, state aviation groups, I think they're great. But if you say, hey, I need XYZ, you're going to get a lot of people that are just the time builders, and nothing wrong with the time builders, that are trying to charge Zach $70. I mean, my first Facebook post, I wanted to go flying, and Ben tried to charge me $500 an hour to fly. So, the range is all over the place. But I would say, in all seriousness, the more local you can get, the more opportunities you'll find to either split time, share costs, or maybe even be free in a lot of cases. At Peachtree DeKalb Airport here, there's something called the PDK Hangar Hang. It's once a month, and when you go, there's probably 50 to 80 people there, and guess what? They all love flying. They all want to talk about it, and you can get so many opportunities like that are just like, hey, let's go ride along in my Vision Jet or my CTLS flight design or whatever it is. I would go super local if I was, in Zach's position. The state, the New York Facebook pilots page is going to be huge, and you're going to get maybe a couple of responses. And I'm part of those groups because they have great local information, but definitely go for, I think, the hyper local stuff that you can. That'd be my advice. That'll be $80.
Well, the chat is lit up right now with the they're saying that Zach is saying he expects a $70 an hour friend Midlife Pilot podcast t-shirt. So consider it done. We will make that happen because we
Yeah.
There's got to be a NAFI tie into that. You know, it's like how to have $70 an hour friends. Talk to NAFI.
Hey, I'll do a quick plug here on NAFI. You guys know I work for NAFI. If in the show notes, I do have a discount code for NAFI if anybody's interested in it. I get nothing for it, but midlifers, there you go.
That's awesome. And why would people that are not instructors be interested in NAFI, Nate?
There's a lot of content and benefit to being there. For the true midlifer who's thinking about their wallet and their pocketbook, there's a lot of discounts for the big name EFBs and things like that will more than pay for itself with a membership. So again, I'm not here to sell anything, but it came up. So
yeah.
So
all right, there's so many things going on in the comments. I got to hit one of them. Hit a few of them. Some of them,
and not some of them.
So our friend Mike Alphagov, I love this comment. He says, I don't have a hangar, but my local Civil Air Patrol CAP squadron is that hangar for me. Got certified to operate the CAP cameras. I flew my AMEs, his physician's King Air, went up in a new friend's Mooney. Mileage varies locally, obviously, but again, it's back to what you were saying earlier, Nate. Just go hang out at the airport. You never know what's going to happen. The other one that I wanted to highlight is, or somebody was asking, and I'm wondering why Nate's been holding back on me. I've not heard about the hangar hang at PDK, and I've been looking for network. So I guess I know where I stand now with Safer Flying with Nathan Ballard.
Very exclusive.
Meaning everybody except Ben, but that's okay.
Hangar owners only.
Exactly.
Well, you know, I think also I see, and I know a good handful of pilots really well that just for whatever reason, they don't go and just fly with other pilots and just take rides and just see how other people are flying and what other aircraft are like. Even if it's the same aircraft you fly, just observing other pilots doing their thing, you learn so much. Maybe some things you like, maybe some things you don't like, but still, it shakes, it mixes things up a little bit. And I think that's just something that I think everybody should do as much as possible. Honestly, I don't get to do enough of that. And so, you know, hey, look, listeners, I'm in Nashville. It's a pretty populous place. Come pick me up at John Toon, especially if you have a, what's it called? A Constellation. If you have a Constellation, come on through. But no, it just, I love flying with other pilots. So please hit me up. And, you know, also I have to just speak specifically to budget, Nate. What would you say to those who are not in pursuit of a rating, that are just trying to sustain their passion, but they don't want to break the bank? What are some of the cheapest possible things that somebody could do to just kind of get their jollies, but really what is the absolute cheapest thing, but next to not flying?
I'm going to make an appeal to the entire audience here, not just Zach and what he's doing. I think, and it's basically free until you need to do some official training. I think everybody in this midlife pilot podcast community needs to be looking into being a flight instructor. I think that the learning that you do to be a certificated flight instructor, you know, it can take, you know, you can speed through it and do it in 3 months, or you can do it in 5 years or whatever, but that would be a great way to elevate your knowledge and learning and safety just by putting that on the horizon as a goal. And you guys have all heard me say before, I think everybody in this community should do that, because general aviation is in dire need of seasoned people like all of us that have life experience that can actually teach and not just, you know, run off to their next flying job. So I'd put that out there as a very economical option for something that Zach or anybody could do to be a better pilot and keep learning and engaged.
That's about as good as it gets right there. And also, I just want to say, by the way, that everybody should just be a member of the Midlife Pilot Podcast Community Discord, because you're going to get a lot of ideas and continued conversations and things to ping off of people in a very positive light from all over the world. And it's a great place to be.
I wanted to hit our friend Checkmate Barry. He asked, I kind of like this idea. I didn't think of it. Pick an airplane you want to fly in, and then make it a mission to find one close by with the local owner.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I wanted to fly in an L-39 Albatross until I saw that there was one on the field, and lo and behold, it happened. So I think that's a great comment. So action plan, go look in the Discord server. We got a lot of folks in the Mid-Atlantic areas to do meetups. The Discord server, again, we've said it before, that's become a large part of my social media that I spend time on that and not on Facebook as much, probably not, maybe to my detriment. But another comment, thanks for putting that up, from Chuck McBarry. Wings event are great for further learning and networking. And so, again, I think sometimes what it boils down to is you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to make the conscious effort to go do something in the airplane. We've talked about cheap ways to do it, but it takes some gumption on your part.
Do we want to talk about the viability of having a Midlife Pilot Podcast fly-in somewhere in the Mid-Atlantic? Hey, who do we see here?
We got here.
Oh,
he's looking for beer. So it goes to the guy from Portland, of course.
Yeah. Ted's giving beer directions live on the Midlife Pilot Podcast.
Talk to the other guy. Talk to those guys over there. Talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to the guy that's not
who was that?
Microphone.
Random. I've got to say, though, the person we've been hanging out with just walked past, which is APG, Captain Jeff, the kind of the original aviation podcast. So
he's the godfather.
He's been a great guy.
Captain Jeff is great.
Yeah.
Tell him Ben says hello, and he's a really nice guy. Actually lives kind of around the corner from AJ and I. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So what do you think? Mid-Atlantic fly-in?
I really want to do this in ways that you can't imagine. First of all, I think it's beautiful up in the Northeast, especially once you get outside the busy metropolitan areas. And the metropolitan areas are beautiful too. But I have spent a little bit of time outside of Syracuse, New York. I kind of just think of the communities up there just as redneck as they are down here. Just great people. A longtime supporter of the show, Josh MC. Oh, look at there. There's
Lord Alfred Juliet makes himself known in the background.
That's right. Oh, there's Captain Jeff.
Planes being raided.
There they are.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, so Mid-Atlantic. By the way, okay, Ted, you tell me if I'm nuts. What if we, or you can just go ahead and tell me I'm nuts. I won't even tell you what my idea is. It's fine. How viable would it be, or how mad would people be, or how great of an idea would people think it is? I think it would be a great idea, not knowing anything about the viability of it. Tangier Island.
What's on Tangier is the question. I think Ted's a little shell-shocked with being stormed by the APG crew.
I just like the challenge of you have to get over the Chesapeake Bay. You got to get to this island. You got there are hotels and Airbnbs, and there places to eat and drink. It's not completely desolate, but it's not a resource heavy place. That's for sure. It defies most of our sensibilities. But there is something exotic about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little nuts.
I think
we'll go to Jersey. We'll go to Jersey. It's fine.
No, I think we need to go further north. I think we need to look central New York, maybe northern Pennsylvania, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to go to the Cape. That's my first preference. But
Okay. Well, shout out to our friend Josh,
yep.
who is running an ice cream shop up there now, and he traded in his caps available for cones available, and we applaud him for that. And one of our other friends and Discord community members as well is Chris C. Was it Chris C? Yeah,
Yep.
who just went up there, and just see them hanging out in Josh's ice cream shop was so cool. So maybe I think that all signs are kind of pointing to Josh's ice cream shop as ground zero.
I mean, that's my vote. I can be talked out of it, but that's you know, a lot of people are going to be making a long trip no matter where you go in the Northeast. So
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can work it out where there's like a staggered intermediary micro fly-in that is on the way to the larger, you know,
and then we
because
do
it
a
is so
big
far.
formation into the large one. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
maybe we do something like Rough River or something like that. But
Ooh, that'd be
you
fun
know,
too.
and have that be sort of a meeting place to then carry on. But anyway, yeah, so many things. But you know, Nate, tell us about your immediate future. How many casual, expensive flying general aviation adventures are you up for right now? Are you getting smart and just making money?
I don't know if I'm smart at anything, but I'm up for any adventures, especially if they're over here on the East Coast. I'm sorry I missed the big Texas, and you guys looked like you had so much fun. So
That was awesome.
hey, do it up in the like New York, New Jersey, your area. I mean, get a fleet of midlife planes flying up the Hudson doing the New York tour. I mean, that's kind of like the Fisk arrival, but through New York. I mean, that would definitely
You may
be
be
an
onto
event.
something there. Yeah.
You may be on
And maybe
something.
we can charter a Learjet to come pick us up and take us for a ride.
Yeah. Do you know we need a guy? You got a guy?
I think I got a guy. Yeah, we can do that. It'll be all the Diet Cokes and peanut butter crackers, snacks for you in the bag. You guys will be treated well.
Well, before we go, I really just want to thank you, Nate, for joining us, and obviously Ted for taking time out of this precious, perpetual vacation that is your life. I'm so glad you guys are there and having a good time. But Nate, I wanted to ask you, what have you? You've been doing a lot of things, but what have you learned, or what do you feel like's been one of the higher level moments for you in the last few months for your pursuits right now?
I think with the transition into professional flying has been it's just such an eye opener in how much. Here we go again. How much I have to learn, right? And as much as you think you don't know, and the learning curve behind it all, and just getting used to like actual CRM that matters, and interacting with somebody and having duties and jobs like. Those are the kind of things now I'm trying to, practice and help teach others in my GA flying. It's like, that sort of stuff. So we can all be, a little safer, but that's probably been the biggest thing is just like, what am I doing? How is this? How am I doing this? And just knowing that it's going to be a long learning process, but it's a blast. And just having the support of this community, like us getting to talk about it. And I couldn't be any happier to be a part of this group. That's for sure.
What's been the hardest thing?
I think probably the hardest thing, honestly, is just having so much power available to you and climbing out at 4,000 to 6,000 feet a minute. You better know what you're going to be doing before you bust altitudes. It's just it's a lot. And in this world, you hear people saying, well, you're going to be flying the plane. You're still going to be at the FBO in your head, by the time you're flying it. And I was like, that's not true, but it's true. Like it's just a lot to get used to, just the speed of things that happen.
I have one question, and I'm always wondered this, and I've asked multiple pilots this question. You did your type rating in a simulator,
right?
How was it? How much different was it landing the simulator version versus the real version? I'm assuming you've gotten a couple of landings in at this point.
Yeah, I'm flying legs now, so it is easier to land the plane than it is the simulator. So
okay,
the simulator just can't feel it or get the depth perception right, and it's just landing the plane. It's still a rush and a blur, but I think it's easier.
Interesting. It's probably designed that way.
I still think it's fascinating that people, when they're doing really detail-oriented tasks like landing a jet, like nobody ever sneezes at exactly the wrong point. Like your body knows. How is the sneeze involuntary, but it knows to not do it right then? Like,
It's on
wouldn't
the
that just be the
checklist.
worst thing ever? Like, right?
Yeah.
You know, 20, 10. Why did like? How does? I don't know. These are the
I
things
don't
I think
know.
about. Yeah.
And that's why we worry about you.
Yes. Thank you for worrying. Hey, so I want to propose something, Ted. You just tell me if you think this is good or not. We can do, obviously we're doing the live recording of our podcast right now. We're about to wrap up the formal audio episode, but if you'd like, since you've taken the time and trouble to launch all this under the wing at Oshkosh, maybe we can play the outro, then come back to you, still stay live, and go extended. How does that feel? Cool. All right. Yeah, we got a good chat going, and I figure, hey, we're all here. So, Nate, obviously, you can check out anytime you want, but just know that we'll hold it against you behind your back. So, no, thank you guys for everybody. Ben, you want to bring us home?
Yeah. So don't forget, leave us a 5-star review. Click the buttons. Do you like to say? Go visit our website, buy our merch, midlifepilotpodcast.com. Tonight's bit of wisdom: the trouble with doing nothing is that you never know when you're done. Signing off. Episode 138 of the Midlife Pilot Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, so usually as the show's going out, we click in stream, and then we kind of stay on and do a little debrief among us, and it's like, all the ways that Ben is messed up in the pod, and just that's normal. So in this case, we're just staying live so that you guys can see some of the chaos that's going on here.
So what happened with Captain Jeff? Who was that with? Who was that with?
Yeah,
Jeff
who was that with Captain Jeff?
AJ.
RJ. He's somebody who.
RJ, that's okay.
He's somebody who's also on the APG podcast.
I know. It's
He
probably
was,
bad
and he
volume.
was.
He was trying to do that on purpose.
Yes, and he
Okay.
was cracking up.
Okay.
He was having so much fun messing with you.
I couldn't context switch, and so my brain is melting down, and this guy's asking me all this question, and I'm like, go talk to those guys, and they walked a long way away, probably because of that. And yeah, so
Is Jeff recording an episode?
Well, I did keep the report. Oh.
go ahead.
I did keep the reporter guy. There was a
I saw
media
him.
guy who
Yeah.
wanted to talk to you about your airplane, and I'm like, hey, he's about to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Come back in an hour.
Yeah, guess who's not on media credentials? The guy doing a live podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were asking if Jeff, if they're doing stuff.
Do you know if they're recording a podcast?
Are they recording a pod?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'll find
They
out
didn't
from
mention.
AJ. If they do, I need you to go crash their podcast.
Absolutely. Went up to dinner with them and saw Hillel. So.
It's time for the interview.
Yeah, it's somebody
Is that
random.
the media guy?
No, it isn't. So lots of people walk by and ask questions, and so I've had some great conversations. Have talked about spotted cow, and a local in an RV who's an aviation fanatic talked for me an hour and a half. Barry, I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, they're saying there's better than spotted cow, and somehow mysteriously beer showed up under my tent the next day. It was still cold when it showed up too. Allegedly, it showed up. So, surprised there's not more people in the background. If I turned around, you would see the ultralight field is behind us. I don't know if you saw, but I went and kind of did that to mark, because there were 4 powered parachutes just in the air right there, and and I'm right on the main drag right behind me here. So I just have a good shot of the swampy area that they didn't park planes in yet. So, and then 185s are behind me there. They're the featured group. So
Nice. Yeah. So how was the arrival I know you told me about what happened with Mark.
Yeah.
What about with you? How was the big conga line, or was it pretty easy?
Good conga line. I realized that I can hand fly and maintain altitude much better than the guy in front of me.
Okay.
We were losing him. It was like a sailplane, just doing this, and losing him when he'd go down below, and it was like, he's down in the terrain, can't even find him. And
Which runway did you get?
It's probably only like 150 feet up and down each
Yeah.
way, but it's enough to do that. But
Oh, you can notice it when you're at post.
yeah, so we came in and we made the right turn and got 3.6, which is what we hoped for. And they were slow enough that they were asking everybody where they're from and which runway they wanted. And but I got behind the plane at that moment because I was trying to call out to Bravo Kilo there. And
Oh.
I was so focused on that I was late to make the turn. So if you see my track, you see me correcting my turn back out. So
Was he working the fist?
he was working in the tower, which is how we got that picture.
Oh,
But we
okay.
didn't know. And since everybody was saying something, that was my thing to say. But it took a repeat to say it, and and I didn't know that you literally turn over Fisk, so I wasn't prepared for it. Now when Mark came in on Sunday, because of a confluence of events, mostly a plane at 2300 overhead, they're like, low wing, turn right, 3.6. Low wing, turn right. It's like, that can't be us. We haven't rocked our wings. So he didn't get to do the rock of wings. So.
By the way, Ted, Geek put a picture of you from behind your position.
I saw that
in the Discord, and
yeah.
I apologize for the spinal damage that you're doing.
We see you moving around, yeah.
This pure commitment. So thank you. Hey, by the way, have you seen any other eggs there?
I have seen them in the. I actually heard a couple when we went out to Fisk and watched them flying overhead. But all the ones that I've seen are in the booths. So my flight design people have 3 there. And the Aero Jones, who basically bought the original design, which is the egg, and launched an all-new plane that has VGs on it. It's basically the same thing. They have their own booth, so it has 2 of their egg 2.0s in it.
When you say Aero Jones, I just think about I think of the movie Shaft. It's like
yeah, it's a strange name. Yeah. So I really respect. I don't respect them for launching it and calling it all new, but I do respect them because they started out buying the Asian rights to the plane, and they're building it in Taiwan. And those are people that know how to build carbon fiber everything's. If you want a carbon fiber racing bike, you want to make sure it was built in Taiwan, not in the U.S. So it's a good choice that they're doing it there. So yeah, AJ Sport, yeah, Zach. It's got a little bit bigger of a cowl. I think they changed the winglets on the ends and put VGs on it, and are calling it an all-new plane. So.
Very cool.
And we saw the U2 land, so do a low pass and then come back and land, and the SUVs hauling ass to catch up to it.
I saw the footage of that. And I just thought, I was really nervous when I was getting, everybody drink, when I was getting my tail wheel. When I look at that thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that has got to be the most nerve-wracking plane to land of all planes.
And these SUVs are obviously souped up because you hear them just like just head, it's like, it reminds me of like auto racing of it's like somebody's tuned that thing out.
Well, I have a dumb question. I saw that and I thought, why are they doing that?
So mono wheels. There are pogo sticks, 1 on each wing for takeoff, and as soon as it takes off, the pogo sticks fall. When you come back in, you need to get underneath it and put a pogo stick there so that the wing doesn't flop onto the ground. Possibly they, as a backup, it'll land on top of the SUV. Haven't gotten confirmation on that. We just have memories of people doing that. So yeah. Also, and that's parked in the show. I've never seen a U2 in person, and that's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Imagine that car insurance claim.
Yeah. Yeah. So what had happened was, I was running down the runway to catch up to the U2. Let's see what else is here. The B1 flew over the bone. Again, never seen that in person. It just flew over though. In the show, there's a KC-47 tanker. So to stand next to the nice big fuel nozzle on that, I was like, oh,
You saw our friend Erica. Is she doing any presentations?
She is not. Although
Okay.
she was headed to see their 5 p.m. with Gary Reeves' pink shirt. That was on your topic, Nate. That was like dealing with difficult students or something like that. I'm like,
Oh, really?
This is, yeah. So and they're like, send in stories. We'll make sure they're anonymous. She may have sent in a story. So
May or may not have. What did she fly up in, the TBM?
yeah, and she's got it up at the FBO, which is, that's how you know you're doing it right, when you just, during Osh you can park at the FBO. So we'll go up tomorrow, and a bunch of us will go up and get a tour of it. So
So they don't just say TBM left onto the grass.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, they did that to a Vision Jet, and you saw where it ended up.
Golly. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
EAA seems to have a tendency to have to pay for prop strikes every other year, and there was definitely one this year that they're paying for. But watching the King Air, it's from some African country, sorry, don't remember which one, but watching it sit there and it's like, it's on its wheels and it's stuck, and then pretty soon it's down to the doors.
Wow.
So it's like, oof, yeah. Mosaic presentation, I went to the one this morning, which was a panel. Tomorrow is the esteemed FAA director will be giving a announcement at the center of the show at 12:30. I'll definitely be there. It's something that GA is going to be very happy about. But as they're saying otherwise, they're like, you guys have built planes. You know that this announcement that's happening on Tuesday will happen on a Tuesday, not necessarily this one. So, but it's well assumed that'll happen tomorrow.
What's the weather looking like? Is it looking good?
We definitely had stormy days. I think that kind of held some people back from coming in. And as I said, there's swampy spots. I think there's call for a little bit poorer weather at some point this week.
I think it's on Friday right now. It's supposed to be IFR pretty much.
It's Portland temperatures today. You see, I had to put on my jacket. It's gonna be 90 by Wednesday, but it's been great. Even the night that it rained, it's like I just sat in my tent. It's fine. So
Hey, Nate, have you been to Osh?
Never have. I'm super jelly.
Do you want to go up on Friday?
I can't.
Neither can I. I just thought I'd do it.
Oh, Ben, you must
this
have
is
been
definitely go ahead.
Ben. You must have been really skilled at asking girls out when you were young. So you want to go to movies on Friday?
I don't wanna go.
Well, I'll say I didn't want to go either. So whatever.
Ben's in sales. He knows you just have to ask a lot and be happy, for the few, right?
Yeah. Well, I've never been, and I always say next year, and so I'll say it again, just like my instrument rating, next year.
Yeah.
But the good news is about being in midlife is that all we have is time, right? Oh wait, never mind.
No.
That's not good either. So
This is
yeah.
this is going to be a rare opportunity for me to have done this.
Yeah. So are you doing anything crazy on your return?
Yeah. You're like, of course. No. So my partner's family is in Illinois, FIB, as our friends call it. So I'll fly down there and spend a couple days with them before I fly back home. I have a day. I have to leave on Saturday, and I know my connection got a little weird. I'm going to leave here on Saturday, and I need to be there Sunday. Am I there?
Yeah, you're good.
You're here. You're good.
Okay. Anyway, so I have a day. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go down to St. Louis for the night. So I even already have a ticket to go up the Arch, and so I'll go do that, and then I'll go back north. I literally will fly over Peoria. I'll turn around and go back north, back to Peoria. But distances on the East Coast are short. It's awesome. It's like 4 hours to get to St. Louis and then 2 hours back to Peoria. Like
It's kind of like how we
next
think about
door.
Europe. It's like Europe, where it's like you every couple hours, it's a different country. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That's cool. Well, I wish I could. I don't know. Maybe by some miracle, I can make it to St. Louis this weekend or something. But
How about if I just come pick you up and we go over there?
there you go.
yeah, that's way better because then it's. I don't. Oh wait, now you want fuel though. So
You know, that's how I charge $500 an hour, right, Nate?
yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. You're commercial.
Listen,
Yeah.
You know, I just say what I'm worth. That's all.
Any
Opinion of myself.
any other sightings of note, whether human or machine, Ted?
Great planes to see. I mean, obviously, I talk about kind of the military stuff because that's the big stuff that you see. The Pratt & Whitney 747-200 SP, aka the short bus, is at Show Center, and it has an eyebrow off to the side. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the whole pylon, but it's where they mount the fifth engine for testing, and it's up top, like it's in a very goofy spot, but it's cool to see it. The line was excessively long, so I didn't go in it today. I did.
Have you
see,
seen the
I did
sorry.
see the Prom King and Queen doing interviews behind the Garmin booth. And
Who's that?
Trevor Jacobs, Aviation 101. Sorry, that's my nickname for him. Trevor Jacob has his plane in front. No, I didn't say that. This is not the live podcast, thankfully. Trent Palmer.
Trent Palmer.
His new plane. I know. I did
The
that
wreck
to
is on display.
I was so confused.
I was literally wondering, did they take
I
the
know,
wreckage
I know.
and put it on display saying, don't be this guy?
So anyway, his new plane is Show Center, like in front of Garmin. So yeah. We also heard that the AOPA show plane or sweepstakes plane
Yeah.
had an incident involving shoelaces, and they need a new plane now. So,
It's an Aviat, isn't it? Husky?
No, it was a 182, I think.
The one for next year is a Husky.
oh, okay. Yeah. So how terrible is
Shoelaces.
that?
How
Shoelaces in the rudder is what it said. So, but I mean,
somebody was saying that there was I know there's an incident every year, but I felt like that there was a hold enacted because of an incident. I thought I saw something.
Oh yeah, and that's common, but somebody landed without nose gear, so the assumption is that it collapsed because if it didn't come down, they are watching everybody and they make sure everybody's wheels are down and multiple times. So there's no odds that you wouldn't have forgotten to switch. So. I was out at Fisk when that happened, so we started returning into the hold, and you could tell every once in a while they were like, somebody's like, "Oh, I gotta get in." They're like, "Well, you need fuel? Great, leave," and so you see them going in a different direction.
Well, I think that the sweepstakes plane, you're going to find out that it was a sneeze.
Yeah. So electric planes, there's a few, you see it in a few places. I mean, we certainly saw Steve Thorne Flight Chops. He just flew that goofy-looking thing. We saw that at Waukesha. I'm never confident how I say it, but it's Waukesha. We saw it
You're
there.
right.
So it's probably here somewhere. The drone delivery company that does the Walmart stuff is here. Somebody that's got a hybrid, electric turbine prop setup is in the middle of the show. So this stuff exists, but it's not a big part of the show either. So.
Well, we appreciate you the extra dispatch bonus coverage live from the Storm Center. And
taking one for the team.
I really want to see the drunk pilot guy do his routine in a CTLS. So if you have the chance to offer it up,
yeah. No, he was there a little bit earlier, or he was out earlier, but I didn't offer it. So
looks good.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Mark.
Hey, hello, Mark.
I gotta show you the Starlink. It's the thing I get asked about the most.
Oh, we found the wind.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
there
I
we
get
go.
asked about the Starlink the most, and it's like do you fly with it mounted there? So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Barry's saying the Husky had the shoelace issue, not the 182.
oh, is the Husky? Oh, well, that's good. That's really good, actually. So
Why?
well, because it's not this year's plane. Like you've got
Oh.
a year to fix it or go to the next one. So you got anything to say?
Oh,
No, I can't hear anything that anybody's saying.
We want to keep it that way.
I'm just standing around.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Well, tell Mark that we miss him.
They don't miss you at
Hey,
all.
Okay.
no, Ted, please tell him I said rock your
Let me-
wings.
Ben said, "Rock your wings."
Oh, there we go. There we go. Did you tell them that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I told it on the pod, right? Yeah, I did.
You did.
So
All right, guys.
All right,
Well, appreciate
we
it.
gotta Hey,
We're
Nate,
just gonna-
thank you, buddy.
We're just gonna turn off the live feed, and then we'll hang here for a quick second. I'm gonna hit end stream. Is that cool?
yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody in the chat for
Thanks,
the
everybody.
sticking around, and we'll see you.